Hola estudiantes, hola nuevamente, saludos. Y aquí están los detalles para la semana 10. Semana 10, ¿ok? A ver, en la semana 10 necesitamos, número 1, repasar el verbo ser, el verbo tener, ¿ok? También necesitamos repasar condiciones, ¿verdad? Y necesitamos repasar los miembros y las miembros de la familia, ¿verdad? ¿Quiénes son las personas de la familia? La madre, el padre, el abuelo, la abuela, el hijo, la hija o los hijos, ¿verdad? El tío, la tía, el primo, la prima, ¿sí? El sobrino, la sobrina, el nieto y la nieta. Bien, y en la semana 10, trabajamos con la ropa. But before we go to la ropa, it's important, remember, to be acquainted with that information that I mentioned before, and also with some particular verbs, like llevar, okay? Llevar in particular. Yo llevo, tú llevas, nosotros llevamos, la profesora lleva lentes, lleva una blusa azul, ¿ok? Bien. ¿Qué más vamos a hacer? En la página 71 vamos a hacer el ejercicio 31, and that's a listening activity. So make sure that you go to Eleteca and you play the audio in order to complete this activity. Play the audio several times so you get acquainted with the pronunciation of those new words, okay? And also with expressions, okay? So make sure that you develop that listening skill, okay? And then we will be completing an activity via voice thread, okay? In this activity, we will be describing cómo eres. ¿Cómo eres? Since we learned some vocabulary to describe, ¿verdad? Ourselves and describe other people, now we can interact. So I want you to interact with your classmates and tell them about you and then ask about them. ¿Cómo eres? Yo soy abierta, soy simpática y un poco tímida. You see, I'm using un poco tímida to present my negative, ¿verdad? In quotation, my negative traits. But ask then your partners, ¿y tú? ¿Cómo eres? ¿Cómo eres, Oliver? ¿Cómo eres, Joshua? Okay? And then start interacting, okay? And then we are going to page 72. En la página 72 hablamos de la ropa, más ropa, okay? In more details. So study about la ropa, and then we have a voice thread that is about selecting the right pieces for the right situation, okay? ¿Qué usas o qué llevas para estar en casa? ¿Qué llevas para ir a clase? ¿Y qué llevas para una ocasión especial? Explica, ¿ok? Explícale a tus compañeros qué llevas. En la página 74 trabajamos con más descripciones. So, before we learned about el pelo, ¿verdad? El pelo rizado, el pelo liso, el pelo corto, el pelo largo. Now we are going to give more details. In this case, we're going to talk about los ojos, por ejemplo, ¿verdad? El bigote, la barba, si mi miembro de la familia favorito es delgado o es gordo, si es guapo, de qué color son los ojos, ¿verdad? And then we're going to be expanding a little bit more, okay? Of course, we're going to be practicing and then we continue the studying of one of the most important aspects this semester, the verbs, okay? Las actividades. The verbs are the heart. For me, that's the main point. Why? Because once you know how to conjugate a verb, you can express a complete idea, basically. If I say como, that's basically a sentence. The subject will be me because I can tell. The ending will tell me who is doing the action, okay? And I'm expressing a complete sentence. I eat, okay? By saying como. Yo como pizza, yo como mucho, and then I can add some other things to that verb, okay? Bien, so make sure that you know how to conjugate verbs, AR verbs, but also the new ones, ER and IR. The good news is that if you understand the process of AR verbs, you can decode and use AR as a modelo to continue the learning process, okay, of ER and IR verbs. Bien, jóvenes, another good news is that if you have worked with verbs like vivir, the other ones are going to be easy to digest, okay? Because vivir is part of the IR verbs. And tener is part of the ER verbs. But tener is a little bit different because it's an irregular verb, okay? But the endings, they are the same for ER verbs, okay? Then we have a voice thread activity in which you have several pictures and then you have to conjugate the action, okay? Depending on who is doing the action. So pay attention to that. The last activity will be going to Eleteca and completing the lab. For this week, part of the activities that we need to complete will be selecting the date and time for your third oral assessment. Okay, so it's important that you do that before November 5th. So make sure that it is done before November 5th, that you are selecting consciously the date and the time, because not necessarily I will have time to add you, okay? Eventually. So make sure that you select that and use your phone to create a reminder, okay? And of course, you have quiz 11. So complete everything before opening quiz 11, okay? Bien, jóvenes, hasta luego. Chao.